Alrighty, and without further ado, welcome to my Avengers Age of Ultron trailer analysis. Trailer 2 to be more specific. And I know you guys have been waiting for this patiently, all 5 of you, but just because there's 5 of you doesn't mean you guys don't deserve a sick trailer analysis from me. Alright, anyway, let's go. Okay, here is a shot of Hawkeye, and he's clearly taking care of the civilians in the vicinity. It looks like it could be somewhere in Eastern Europe, in a place called Sokovia. It's a fictional place in the Marvel Universe, much like Wakanda. It may be where Scarlet Witch and her twin brother Quicksilver are from. In the comics, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are mutants from Eastern Europe, and I've heard rumours that Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor-Johnson will be speaking with an accent in the film, which will be very interesting, judging from previous trailers and now this one. Hawkeye will be the one to deal with them, and I think this will be the opening sequence of the movie.
This vulnerable world?
Hella destruction. Hella destruction. I can only assume maybe Hydra had a hand in this, but if that's the case, it's a little strange that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver have beef with the Avengers if Hawkeye saves them here. So maybe he doesn't save them, and instead he fights them. Though, if this is the same place as the one seen in the original trailer with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and the angry mob, they may not have their powers yet. If you look closely in the previous trailer, Quicksilver has normal brown hair, and Witch looks less like, well, a witch, and more like your average girl. So if they don't have their powers, and it's the same scene, how do they fight Hawkeye? It may be 2 entirely different scenes, Witch and Quicksilver's angry mob scene being a flashback, and Hawkeye the Saviour scene being current time, where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are causing havoc, which Hawkeye comes in and stops.
Need something more powerful than any of us.
This vulnerable world needs something more powerful than any of us. Tony clearly talking about his reasons for creating Ultron. If we look at the clip between Tony and Steve chopping wood that was shown in the Marvel reveal back in October, Tony mentions that he's only fighting to end the fight. Fighting so they don't have to fight as Avengers anymore.
Ben and I were doing research.
That would affect the team.
That would end the team. Isn't that the mission? Isn't that the why we fight? So we can end the fight? So we get to go home?
Every time someone tries to win a war before it starts, innocent people die. Every time.
And Steve goes ahead and says that basically the fight never ends, and when you try to end it prematurely, it causes more problems rather than fixes them. Tony also echoes this in the first Avengers movie, "We're not soldiers."
You should have waited. You should have... Sometimes there isn't a way out, Tony.
Right. I've heard that before.
Is this the first time you lost a soldier?
We are not soldiers.
Clearly, Tony is an Avenger because he feels like he has to, rather than because he wants to. And this led to the creation of Ultron, a sentient AI cyborg that can do the fighting for the Avengers, and they can retire peacefully. And obviously, it don't go to plan. Let's carry on. Hawkeye again, different scene from the first one. He's probably in the place where Baron von Strucker and Hydra are. It's a cold climate. We see most of the Avengers are here. If we look at the previous trailers and clips, Iron Man is blasting the Hydra soldiers, Bruce Banner's running around in his ripped trousers, Captain America kicking down the fortress doors, and of course, Hawkeye. And then I think later on, even in this trailer, we see Iron Man doing his cool sliding thing in the snow. I assume they are after Loki's scepter. Baron von Strucker had it at the end of Winter Soldier, and there's speculation that he used it for experimentation with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but that remains to be seen.
Everyone creates the thing they dread.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. James Spader's chilling Ultron voice verbally kicking Tony Stark in the shins with that line. Tony looks to be in a desolate workshop where Ultron may have fused with a new vibranium alloy, or maybe where he has finished creating the Vision. I can dream, can't I? Hopefully. He better create the vision anyway. A poster description showing Ultron stated that Ultron may be created from latent Chitauri tech. You know, the aliens from the first movie. I hope that this isn't true, because that sucks. It's infinitely more powerful that Ultron is created from Earth and is made entirely by Tony Stark. I've already made peace with the fact that it's not Hank Pym that creates him like in the comics. So if this and the other rumor of the Vision being created by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner is true, then this is just opening old Hank Pym not creating Ultron wounds that have just healed. I gotta add though that in the official synopsis of the movie it says Tony Stark jumpstarts a dormant peacekeeping program. Maybe that was Hank Pym's peacekeeping program or Chitauri peacekeeping program, but the Chitauri aren't exactly peaceful, so that doesn't make any sense, but we'll see.
Ultron.
Banner says Ultron, like he knows about him. It's a bit weird. My speculation is that Banner and Stark create Ultron together. I assume that Banner didn't want to finish the project because he realised it may not work, that it could corrupt or fail, or whatever reason. And then Tony refuses and continues the project without Banner. And this, I reckon, could lead to the conflict between the Science Bros and the fight between Hulkbuster and Hulk, with a little help of Scarlet Witch, of course, but we'll get into that later.
Ultron. In the flesh.
In the flesh. Ultron is gassed. I love his humour. When Joss Whedon described Ultron as being funny and charismatic and a bit sarky, I was a little worried. But now we see his humour is scarily humanistic and sarcastic. And more importantly, it's subtle. It just adds so much intrigue to his character. I can tell Whedon has a lot of fun writing Ultron's dialogue, and I can't wait to hear more of it. Scarlet Witch and her twin brother Quicksilver. This looks like the underground plants in the first trailer where they were with Ultron. It looks like they're scared a little or worried about something. Perhaps they've realised Ultron may not be the coolest cat to jam with.
No matter who.
Banner has green eyes. He has the green eyes when he's transforming. This may have been put in because later we see Hulk with the reddish-brown eyes. So the green eyes here may be to foreshadow him not being in control of himself when he later has the red eyes.
Wins or loses. Trouble. Always.
My boy Nick Fury, he's been chilling while leaving all the hard work to Coulson on Agents and S.H.I.E.L.D. Apparently he has a small-ass cameo in this movie, and this is probably the one. This is where he shows Black Widow the scepter in the hands of Baron Von Strucker and gives her a mission, I guess. Or maybe it might even be the first scene after Hawkeye, and he gives her the mission, and then she goes and tells the Avengers about the mission. I don't know. This might be before the party scene where they pick up the hammer.
Always comes around.
Okay, who is this black lady? Everyone's asking the question, just who the bloody hell is she? Well, it's rare to see a random exotic-looking black chick in a Marvel movie, so when you see one, research must be done. Some people are speculating that this is in Wakanda, and it's Black Panther's sister, Shuri. You know, because they're both black, so they must be related. Anyway, in the comics, she also becomes Black Panther at some point as well. But why introduce Shuri here? Maybe she gets forced by Klaue to find vibranium for Ultron, and thus enter T'Challa, Black Panther. Others speculate that this could be on Asgard. As you can see, the background setting is quite similar to the setting where Thor was topless screaming in the spring bath thing. I don't know what he was doing in that, but yeah. And it looks like this lady is in the same place as well, so I can't imagine why Thor would be bathing in Wakanda. That seems a bit random, so it must be Asgard if it is the same place. Some people have also speculated that this could be Moondragon, because of the uncanny resemblance to the character. She's had dealings with Thanos, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and most importantly, the Avengers in the comics. So it's all up in the air with the bald-headed Nubian lady. Others speculate it could be Death, Marvel Comics' physical embodiment of death, which Thanos falls in love with. Maybe Thor has died here? and she's being introduced in anticipation for Infinity War. Speculation. Anyway, let's go on.
You meddled with something you don't understand.
Thor giving Tony a bollocking in this scene. Looks like it leads to the one where he lifts Tony by the throat. It seems a bit extreme, but hopefully Ultron has killed Jane or something. Nah. Thor is saying this line with too much swag for that, unless he finds out right after the line. Editing here makes it look like Scarlet Witch has blasted Tony into the wall, which could very well be the case. But you know, trailers like to take liberties. Sometimes it distorts the viewer's perception of what's actually happening. That could actually be the end result of Ultron's blast at the end of the trailer. In fact, it really does look like it is. Trailer editors trying to make Scarlet look tougher than she is, or trying to show Ultron can use other people's attacks. I don't know, but I don't know why they use Scarlet's one, but it probably, most definitely, is Ultron.
We have no place in the world.
If you've seen my trailer reaction video, you'll see that my blind reaction to this was being convinced that it was Pepper Potts. The hairstyle, the fear in her eyes because she's always getting captured, and how quick the shot went makes it look like Pepper. But obviously it's ScarJo's Black Widow. It looks like Scarlet Witch is messing with her mind, reminding her of when she got red in her ledger, or rather just before that. She got red in her ledger in a different way here, if you know what I mean. Yeah, anyway. Flying Ultron drones. Let's hope these guys put up more of a fight than the flipping weak Chitauri that got whooped. The drones crawling around the place like an infestation of ants. Wink, wink. Man, Hank Pym should have so created Ultron. Look, they're flipping like ants, just crawling all over the place, like, you know, like Ant-Man. Ant-Man, the guy that was supposed to create Ultron. Anyway, no more ranting. See, it opened up old wounds. It's opened up old wounds, I swear to God. Iron Man in what looks to be Eastern Europe. Well, I mentioned earlier that Hawkeye and the others could be here. Hulk doing a Randy Orton punt kick into the police officers' cars and then into police officers. These look like the same police that were shooting in the first trailer. Could this be one of the reasons for Civil War and Captain America 3? Could Tony Stark form the Illuminati and shoot Hulk into space after this, a la the comics? Is Hulk under the influence of Scarlet Witch here? We'll have to just wait and see. Maybe this is the destruction that causes the government to want to take control of the heroes, and then Civil War starts. Now, let's get a bit personal here. There's people, certain groups of people, crying and complaining, calling this a gratuitous arse shot, or at least complaining about it, as if Black Widow isn't allowed to be sexy or be seen as sexy. God, this shot is so plain, it's not even funny. I've seen more arse at church. People need to stop being so sensitive and deal with it. Thor has his naked body out for the ladies in Thor the Dark World, in the original Thor, and in this movie, as well as Captain America in the first Avenger. We get a little bit of Black Widow arse, and everyone just loses their fucking minds. Just had to get that off my chest real quick. Joss Whedon is a full-blown feminist. He's the last person who would sexualize Black Widow. Trust me. Plus, did anyone ever think this shot is just looking at her badass guns? And not her buns, I said her guns. Anyway, moving on. Andy Serkis as Ulysses Claw here. Again, just like the first trailer, but he's doing something different. He's putting a gun. And he looks mean. He looks like he's put the pounds on for this role too. I look forward to seeing how he plays him. He's Black Panther's Joker, basically, in the Black Panther comics. He tries to steal Wakanda's vibranium for himself and then sell it off, but the Panther always foils his plans. Expect to see him in the upcoming Black Panther movie. It will most likely help Ultron get his vibranium alloy body that makes him as indestructible as Captain America's shield. At first I thought this was Ultron throwing Cap around like a ragdoll, but looking at the blue eyes, it's just one of his drones. if Cap is getting thrown around like this by just a drone, does that mean that the drones are formidable? That they're actually going to put up a fight? I sure hope so. It could also mean that Josh Whedon has brought Cap back down after the Russos brought him up. Brought Cap up, down, some Cap. Okay, moving on. Anyway, let's hope, after the Russos brought him up in the Winter Soldier, let's hope that's not the case. And again, I hope the drones aren't going to be as weak as paper mache, like the beastly, monstrous orcs in the Hobbit Battle of Five Armies. They all get taken down by everyone and their mother and their baby with one swing of a chopstick. These drones, I want them to be fucking scary, almost as strong as Ultron. Though that means people would die, so I can understand why they make them look weak, but I don't know how they're going to do it. Lady with the big boobs. Lady with the huge boobs that I just can't stop noticing in the other trailers and this trailer. They keep showing her. Why? Who is she? Like, I mean, I know she's just it's just the boobs are off-putting. If anything, this shot is gratuitous, not Black Widow's ass. The tits just look big. I mean, if you can't see it in HD, it just looks like she's got her tits falling out. And that's probably why she's screaming as well, because her tits are about to fall out. But anyway, Hulk's eyes looking brown here and a bit reddish. Is it just me or his eyes just brown? Like, either he's turning back to normal or he's possessed. I'm going to go with the latter. Black Widow is probably trying to calm him down. There's been a lot of talk of a Black Widow and Hulk love story. Sounds lame and random to me, but and I'm hoping it's not the case. I mean, what happened to Betty? You know, Bruce's love interest. I mean, I know it's a different actor and they're probably trying to forget about that movie a little bit, but still, Betty's out there, no mention of her, it's a bit weird. And what's going on with the Hawkeye and Widow love story? Like, anyway, I hope this fling is short-lived if it's true, because I'm not really into it. I hope they just have some weird connection. I suppose they can have a quick shag, there's nothing wrong with that. But no, like, proper, full-blown love story, that's a bit long. Maybe they're building her up for a love story so they can kill her off at the end of this film. Looks like there's a lot of Black Widow stuff going on in this film. They may just shock everyone and kill her off, we don't know. But anyway, let's continue.
I'm gonna tear you apart.
Ultron sounding scary as fuck. I'm gonna tear you apart from the inside. Like, it sounds kind of dirty, but when you like try and clean your mind and not be dirty-minded, you realise what he's saying there is pretty fucked and pretty dark for this movie. And just to quickly point out the music as well. The music in this trailer is basically the same from the first trailer, but like more intense and like more freaky and less Disney and just more like calculating and dark. Ultron, he's sounding scary as fuck and he's firing lasers from his hands, and I hope they actually do damage. I think this is the energy blast that takes out Iron Man, not the Scarlet Witch's one, as the way it's edited in the trailer. Behind Thor is a lady in similar clothing as the Black Lady in the Rocky bathtub. The setting looks very medieval and Asgardian, so fanboys erupted at the speculation that the girl is Scarlet Witch in her comic clothes. Well, if you look closer, it doesn't look like Elizabeth Olsen, and there's no reason why Scarlet Witch would be in Asgard at all. And her comic clothes are red and not beige colour, like this chick is rocking here. Some have speculated it's Enchantress. It could be. Loki and Heimdall have been confirmed for this film, for short cameos. It's all but obvious that Thor will head back to Asgard in this movie. Whether it's by a vision or for real is remained to be seen. So it could be Enchantress, but I highly doubt it's Scarlet Witch. Probably is in Asgard. Now this is really interesting. Thor's channeling and conducting electricity without Mjolnir, his hammer. Apparently he does this in the comics, but it's never been seen on film. It also looks like Thor could be getting shot with an electric blast, and he's just channeling it and reversing it back to his opponent, because he's the god of thunder and all that. Tony's helper lady, not sure what her role is in all this. She's quite a mystery. The actress is Claudia Kim. She can be seen at Tony's Avengers party. I speculate that she may be a consultant on the Ultron project, but I bet you any money she gets killed off by Ultron.
From the inside.
Same as the previous trailer, Thor is mad at Tony for some reason. Ultron is clearly a massive mistake, but it's not enough to justify this response from Thor, is it? A friend and a teammate of Tony's now, and he's threatening him with violence. It's going to be very interesting to see what caused this. Maybe he sensed Jane could be in danger as a result of Tony's actions with Ultron. It looks like he could also be mad at Tony for messing with alien tech that he doesn't understand. Like Thor pointed out earlier in this trailer when he said, "You're messing with things you don't understand." Sick.
Oh boy.
Don't know what she's oh boying about, but it's probably something really bad considering the last time she had a similar response in the Avengers 1 trailer. A big giant alien snake, Leviathan, came in and attacked the Avengers. But Marvel, you're not allowed any more close-ups of Black Widow saying a quip reacting to danger anymore. You gone done it too many times now, you heard? Sick. I love the fact that Tony is clearly in the Hulkbuster armor and clearly in control. That debunks the dumbass rumors of Ultron controlling the Hulkbuster armor, and it's a proper fight between the two. Well, obviously with a bit of Scarlet Witch influence maybe on the Hulk, but it's a proper Hulkbuster, Iron Man, Hulk fight. That's what we want to see. You want to see Tony Stark fighting Bruce Banner. You don't want to see no Ultron robot fighting him. It's just boring. It's more interesting to see Tony and Bruce fighting with the Hulkbuster. You want to see the true Iron Man using the Hulkbuster, not some fake bullshit. Sick. Hulk looks like a Class A drug user here. He's clearly not himself. Scarlet Witch is the popular choice when it comes to reasons why Hulk looks like this, and why he and Tony are fighting, but maybe it could be just tears and he's upset that Tony would create such a machine behind his back. Nah, Scarlet Witch. It's got to be Scarlet Witch. Ultron. Actually, it's coming out on April 24th for me, as I live in England, so if you guys from across the seas want to see an early review of the movie, spoiler free of course, tune in around that time and I'll come in fresh from the cinema and give you my straight review and first impressions of the movie for you guys. Hit the subscribe button for that, players. Subscribe. Right, my final impressions of this trailer is that this trailer is very dark. Not kind of dark, just very dark, especially for Marvel. A lot of people expected that this trailer would be light-hearted, have a lot more jokes and comedy, because the first trailer was quite dark itself. The only bit of fun we've seen of this new Avengers film is the Avengers party. And guess what? I fucking love it. Think of it this way, these characters need to progress. It's like life. You're a kid and it's all fun and games, and then you grow up. Things get a bit more harder, a little bit tougher. Life gets a bit darker. You still have your good times, but you're more serious, and that's how I like to see this franchise. I want to see it grow up. It needs to grow with us. Even the Toy Story films. The Toy Story films started off fun and all that. And then the last film was, I mean, it was still a bit fun, but it got pretty dark and sad, and, you know, it grew up with us. And Avengers needs to do the same thing. It needs to grow up. And this is really grown up. We can't have fun all the time. Sometimes things got to get serious. And after the Russos gave us that beauty gem of a Marvel film called The Winter Soldier, it's brought new life into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It could go another way, and I could be completely wrong, and this could end up being another Iron Shit 3 situation, where the trailer was fucking dark, it was hard, it was awesome, like me, and the film ends up being just like a comedy sketch version of the Avengers on Saturday Night Live or something. That's what it's going to feel like. I hope the hell it's not. After the awesome Iron Man 3 trailer, and then the horrible movie that followed, Marvel has made me feel like a bit like an abused child who doesn't know whether the parents have raised their arms to hit them or give them a hug. So, yeah, like, I don't know what to expect after Iron Man 3, but normally you can pretty much tell what a film's going to be like from a trailer, but with Marvel you can't really tell these days. of the Iron Man. Like, you've been scorned once, you don't want to be scorned again, do you know what I mean? But as far as we can go, this trailer looks dark, and I hope the movie's dark. Joss Whedon has said that he wants this to be more personal, he wants this to be darker. So I'm going to trust what he said, and I'm hoping he stuck to it. That's my trailer analysis. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, give me a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. You're going to give me a thumbs down now, aren't you? And catch you guys later. Peace.